Welcome to In the Terminal, a White Plains Youth Bureau podcast. Exploring aviation, inspiring futures, and taking dreams to new heights. Now, let's get into it.
You're listening to In the Terminal, White Plains Youth Bureau podcast live from the Aviation Expo. We're talking with youth and aviation professionals about planes, careers, and big dreams. My name is Ace Marctoma, and I'm here with Jesus Pena. So, my first question is, what first got you interested in aviation, and how old were you when that first spark happened?
That's a really good question. I was about 10 years old. Me and my younger sister were flying to the Dominican Republic. Our parents sent us out because they couldn't afford enough tickets for themselves as well, so they sent me and my younger sister. Every so often, one of the pilots would come out of the cockpit and they would say hi to us. They would do just weird things. We were at the front seat, and I still remember this. It was a really cool experience. And at the end of the flight, just to make the long story really short, at the end of the flight, the pilot, can't remember if that was a captain or anything like that, but I'm in my heart, I think he was a captain, you know. The captain, he gave me his wings.
Oh.
He gave me his wings, and he was like, hey, you did really good today. He gave me his wings, and me and my sister, were so happy that day. I got my wings. So the problem is, after I got my wings, my sister lost them, right? So because she lost my wings, I came back here to the U.S., started learning how to fly, becoming a pilot, so I have to re-earn my wings again.
Okay. And so, what is it that you do specifically?
So right now, I am a certified flight instructor. I teach people how to fly, all through the beginnings, the phases of flying. So for example, like PPL, right? Private pilot license, your instrument rating, your commercial rating. The only thing I can't teach you right now is learning how to fly a multi-engine airplane, even though I know how to fly one because I don't have my instructor license for it.
So, could you describe us a typical day in your role as you go through this?
Sure. A typical day for me looks like, hey, I walk in, let's say I have a flight at 7 a.m. Usually most flights are anywhere between 2 to 3 hours. So I walk in, I give you a pre-brief, right? I give you a breakdown of what we're doing at the lesson. I want you to be ready to know exactly what we're going to do. You're going to pre-flight the plane, meaning you're going to do a walk around, make sure that everything is safe. If we need fuel, we'll get fuel, whatever it may be. We flight plan where we're going to go. I already have all that planned out, but I'm just giving it to the student and listening to their opinion and seeing what they think. Then we go do the lesson. We do maneuvers. We do whatever we have to do. Then we come back. We do a post-flight. We tie down the plane. Then we do a debrief. Essentially, I give them my opinion on how they did on the flight, what they did well, what they did bad, what they could improve on, and maybe just stuff like that, right? That looks like a typical basic day. And then we rinse and repeat that multiple times throughout the day.
Okay. So, how did you get to where you are now? Like, what process was it through college admissions, through just high school, all that stuff?
Okay, really good question. So I started aviation really late in my career. I started about 3-4 years ago. I had already gone to college, so I went to NYU. I went to Columbia, and then I finished up my physics degree at Lehman College. After that, I did real estate for about 2-3 years. And then at that point, I started to realize, like, hey, yes, I got some money. It feels good, but damn, do I hate my life. I really hate my life. I hate that I'm doing this every day. I hate that I have to, depend on commission, yes, I work hard for the money, but it feels like it's always dependent on another person, right? So then I realized, I started looking back at aviation again, and I was like, man, I really want to be a pilot. And I started looking into the process again, but it was just very vague. It's really hard to get the knowledge to become a pilot. Mm-hmm. So that always bothered me. That's why I do what I do now, right? Where I mentor people and I teach them how to become pilots with Latin professionals in aerospace. But then from then on, I started flight school. I started my flight school at Academy of Aviation in Westchester County Airport. And I finished all my ratings there. Then I've been teaching people how to fly for about a little over a year now. I think a year and a half or so now. It's been a fun adventure.
And I'm sorry, what is it exactly that you're here to do at the Aviation Expo?
So at the Aviation Expo, I'm essentially educating people on the LPA, which is the Latin Professionals in Aerospace. So at LPA, we do a lot of mentoring, developing, and helping the younger generation, but not just the younger people, but also the next generation of pilots, right? For me, I'm a career 2.0 guy. There's a lot of other guys that are like that, so they're career 2.0. You're teaching them essentially how to navigate this path because becoming a pilot is not easy. Finding the way to become a pilot is not easy. Through LPA, we give a lot of scholarships to like just about anyone, right? It could be a mom, a dad, a young student, someone that just switched career that's very interested in aviation, but you need the funds because it's expensive becoming a pilot. We give a lot of scholarships to people like that. All we need is to hear your story and why you think you deserve it ultimately.
So, how did you find your way to where you are now? Obviously, you've gone through a lot of challenges. So, what did you do to get through those challenges?
That's a very wow. That's a good question. It's a packed question, but to keep it very short and simple, I wanted to give back to the community, right? Like I'm a man of God, and I wanted to give back to the community because I feel like I've been blessed with a lot of opportunities, and I feel like I really have to put it forward and give it back to a lot of people. Like I've been blessed already. Now it's my turn to bless others. That's what I feel, and that's how I got here.
So, obviously, when you go through challenges, they must be hard. So, what do you do to get through them?
I think what I do to do through what do I do to get through challenges?
Yeah.
I think that sounds crazy, right? But like sometimes you got to slow down. Thinking about just tackling the challenge right away. Like sometimes you might break down, you might panic, you might not be able to do the correct play. So sometimes it's better to take a step back and realize that hey, maybe my approach is bad. Maybe I'm not doing things correctly. Hey, if I'm having an argument with someone, right, and someone's arguing with me, and it seems like there's a clash in our personalities. Sometimes I have to take a step back and say, hey, maybe I will be the bigger adult, and I'll take a step back and I was like, hey, man, why do you feel this way? What did I do? Talk to me seriously. I want to help you, and I want to help me. I want to help us. What happened? Sometimes you really have to take a step back to do just that. Because if you don't take a step back, you can't really see it unless you see it from a third person perspective, if that makes sense.
Okay, and what are some misconceptions or maybe some fears you had going into your job that you wish more people understood?
Say it again.
What are some misconceptions about your job or some fears you had going in that you wish more people understood?
Um, I thought it was all flying. I really thought it was all flying, but being a pilot is more studying than anything, right? I love being a pilot, but I just wasn't expecting this much studying to go into it realistically, right? I thought I was just going to fly planes. I wanted to just fly planes. That was my goal. Clearly, I study more than I fly. So, if you're getting into the career, just know you're going to be studying a lot, but it's all worth it at the end of the day.
So that's like based on your like getting here, but what are some also misconceptions about your current job that like maybe when you tell them what you do, what do they tell you?
Okay, so my current job as an instructor, right? Um, to be completely honest with you, being an instructor is not easy. It's not hard. It's all about knowing the person that you're teaching, right? So the hardest thing is knowing when to shut up. No, I'm serious. It sounds weird, but like sometimes you have to let someone make a mistake. Sometimes you have to let someone talk so you can hear why they think something, or you can realize, oh my God, they got it completely wrong. Now I can correct it, right? Sometimes it's really about learning to be quiet, man. I'll be honest with you. I learned that the hard way.
So just to wrap it up, what are some advice like, that you would give to the youth watching about maybe the process, how you got here, the process about obviously starting off with a career and then doing kind of a late end switch?
Okay. My biggest take for the youth is, listen, guys, it is never too late to find something that you love. However, it is always too late when you keep telling yourself no. So just put yourself forward, put your feelings first, do whatever you want to do for yourself and for your career. And the biggest key takeaway is, listen, you're not the first to make this career transition. You definitely won't be the last, right? There's a lot of organizations out there, especially for the pilot side of things. We have LPA, we have Women's in Aviation, we have Black Excellence with OBAP, right? We have the Arab community that just recently started their own, right? These people are always there to guide someone new in the industry. If you feel like you belong to any of these, I think it's always good to just approach some, ask them questions. A lot of us started knowing nothing, but here we are, we learned from our predecessors. So always put it down ahead of, give back to your community. That's my biggest advice.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thanks for listening to In the Terminal, brought to you by the White Plains Youth Bureau. We hope you feel inspired. Until next time, keep looking up.
Thank you so much for tuning into our show. Please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe, as your support will help us grow. If you're interested in joining the White Plains Youth Bureau Aviation Program or any related programs, please email us at wpybaviation@gmail.com. Until next time, keep looking up.